Hey everybody, welcome to another Dunbar Academy mailbag. Before we get started, we just want to remind you to subscribe so you don't miss any of our new videos, and if you want to learn more about dog behavior and training, make sure to check out our dunbaracademy.com link in the description below. Okay, let's get started.
Now, today's question actually comes from me. Based on the most recent mailbag question we recorded, I realized it'd be nice to have Ian answer this question so that it would be easy for people to find. So, Dad, what are the 12 subliminal bite stimuli, and why is it important that people understand them? What do they mean?
Actually, there's 13. A subliminal bite trigger is something that happens or you do that gives the dog the heebie-jeebies, just puts him on edge. But it doesn't push the dog over the threshold so that it would snap or bite. However, when you add them together, okay, it's the last straw that breaks the camel's back. And so the dog then snaps or growls, or bites you. And people are then saying, oh, why is he doing this? He suddenly, without warning and without reason, he's given you lots of warnings, you didn't notice them. Like when people reach the hand out to his collar, he backs off. That's a big warning. And not only does he have a reason, he has multiple reasons. So the classic example I first used in my book, what was it, How to Teach Your Dog Old Tricks, was a real case of a Springer Spaniel that bit a little boy who was friend of the son of the family. When the little boy touched the dog's collar when he was chewing out of his food bowl. So the food bowl was actually empty, but it was by the food bowl. And what happened was the little boy came over with the son and the family, and the dog immediately left because he was reported the case history when I said, well, tell me about the dog. And we got all these euphemisms like he's a little tricky around his food bowl or he takes a while to warm to strangers. These are warnings. They are incipient warnings, but I would respond to them now while they're easy to resolve. But we added them together because what happened was they were playing with a toy and it hit the dog's food bowl. The dog heard that from outside, came in, walked up to his bowl as the child reached for his toy and touched the dog by the collar. So now we have 4 of the subliminal bite stimuli: touching the collar, the ultimate biggie, by the dog's food bowl, number 8, by an unfamiliar person who was a child. And now it's just too much for the dog. And this dog didn't have bite inhibition and put the child in hospital. So what do we learn from this? 2 things. Your dog must have bite inhibition, so if ever he exceeds the bite threshold and does snap or bite, it never breaks the skin. We're not here inhibiting the dog from biting at all. When it's a puppy, they're little biting maniacs. We are inhibiting the force of their bites and snips until it becomes mouthing you. Point number 1. Number 2, Jamie told me he was going to answer this question, so I grabbed this will soon be a classy meme that Jamie will draw, and it's a picture of a dog with red spots on its body. These are the subliminal bite stimuli. Number 1, the dog's collar. By far, the number 1 reason why any dog bites is because a member of the family grabbed the dog's collar. And I say this because people think, oh no, bites are caused by a big bad dog roaming the streets and attacking a child. Those bites happen, but they are very rare. The frequent bite that happens in many families is when one of the owners, usually the little boy or dad, grabs the dog by the collar to stop it doing stuff or to reprimand it. So we have the collar. Number 2, 2 ears. Number 3, the muzzle, teeth. Number 4, 4 paws. Number 5, the rear end. Number 6, hugging or restraining the dog. Number 7, staring in the dog's eyes. Number 8, valued objects like food bowl, bones, chew toys, tennis balls, and what have you. And then we have a list the nature about the people. Children, number 9. Men, number 10. Strangers, number 11. Number 12, scary people or people acting weirdly or dressed weirdly, people with limps, people falling down, people wearing hats and dark glasses or carrying a cane. Then number 13 are superstitions. So a superstition is it's something that's established usually in a single trial where a stimulus, a previously neutral, mundane stimulus, such as a bell ringing, the phone ringing, or walking under a ladder, becomes paired with something exceedingly wonderful or exceedingly scary or painful. So like one of my cases, the phone rang, the owner ran to answer it and trod on her Rottweiler's thigh wearing stiletto heels, which went all the way through the thigh. Extreme pain. From then on, once we resolved the notion of the dog biting, the dog still had a fear of the phone ringing. It's an unsubstantiated fear because it's a chance occurrence of a neutral mundane stimulus with something really good. Like you pick number 42, a horse in a race, and it wins. And you win $10,000 because he's a rank outsider. Now, number 42 will be your favorite number for the rest of your life. So when these subliminal stimuli add up, this is when we get explosive bites. They seem to come out of nowhere, but they don't. The dog's been warning you forever and ever. He doesn't like to be hugged. How many times have you seen a child hugging a dog, on YouTube as, look at the child hugging the dog, but the dog's legs are all flailing. That is not a good sign. This dog is unhappy about this. So by all means, let your child hug the dog after they have trained the dog to thoroughly enjoy being hugged. We must progressively desensitize all of these triggers, and we can do it one by one. See, what I'm talking about here, this all came from the unsolvable dog problem, rage syndrome, when dogs suddenly, out of nowhere, explode in a multi-biting, damaging attack with no warning and no reason. But when I analyzed these cases, I found all the dogs were warning them of subliminal bite triggers. Don't stare at me. Don't touch my rear end. Don't touch my paws. Don't come near my food bowl. Don't bring strangers into the house, and so on and so on. Because they were warnings that acceptable from human terms. They did nothing about it, but the dog's been warning them now. Some breeds, the most faithful of all Rottweilers, will warn you 200 times they aren't comfortable around children, and we ignore it all. One bite, and now the people are like, oh God, what should we do? Should we euthanize the dog? No, look at the bite. There's not a mark. This dog has unbelievable bite inhibition. Essentially, he snapped in the child's face. You have the same dog today as you had yesterday, but now he lives with owners that will listen to him and help him out and further classically condition him to love children, but will also teach their children how to mind around dogs and teach them that even scary dogs have feelings, and usually they're scared of you too. So training the dog, training the children, we now have a safer dog than before because the owners have wised up. So the fact that we're talking about subliminal bite stimuli, it means that the problem becomes solvable, because we needn't work with an unfamiliar child touching the dog's collar, need a food bowl. We can work with each aspect of those stimuli on its own. We can work with the food bowl. Mum can in the family because the dog trusts her, and then dad can do it, and so on. So the dog now likes people around the food bowl because the whole family, whenever they approach the food bowl, they drop in a little bit of chicken. They make it better. Human hands come to give. They don't come to take, they come to give. Then we can work with children from a distance. Sit with your dog on leash near a child's playground and 50 yards away if necessary. And the closer you get, you up the ante of how many food rewards you're giving the dog. Today, he's going to eat his entire dinner. And so we work with each problem one by one, desensitize it so that when they come together in a bunch again, that you're acting weirdly, you are angry, and you dab the dog by the collar and scream right when the dog's stolen a valued item. You don't get bitten. And the fact you don't get bitten saves the dog's lives. That's why it's important to do this stuff. But we must predict what they're going to do. All of this is normal, predictable behavior. We're going to desensitize each trigger, and we're going to continue working with it for the rest of the dog's life. That, to me, classical conditioning never stops. I don't care how trustworthy your dog is, you're going to make him more trustworthy this evening than he was this morning. So that's subliminal bite triggers, Jamie, all 13 of them.
Well, Jamie, I hope that answered your question. Yes, it did, Jamie.
Jamie? Oh, Jamie asked the question? Oh, Jamie, you're Jamie. You asked the question. Oh, how quickly he forgets.
Hello, I am your son, Jamie.
Oh, hi, Jamie.
Yes, you did answer my question. Thank you very much. Until next time.
All righty. I look forward to it.
See you later, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks for watching this video. If you'd like to learn more about dog training and behavior, make sure you visit DunbarAcademy.com to check out our selection of courses, many of which are completely free. If you'd rather watch more of our videos here on YouTube, just click the links to the right. And if you want to follow us on social media, everything you need is directly below. As always, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to click the bell for notifications.